Hello guys, and welcome back. So this is the continuation of our last video, which is our inbuilt corset flare gown. So you can see this is how the inside looks like. So at the end of the day, you just strap it properly, and then you have a tiny waist, so you can see the dress on the model. So this was it after everything that we made. So this is a continuation. Like I said, we did the cutting, that's the drafting in the previous video. So here we're going to be doing the stitching. So this is the back piece, so you can see this was how we cut them. I'll drop the link in the description box. Okay, so at this point I was just trying to arrange them, how I'm going to stitch them. So the back is actually very simple to sew. So you are just going to join the three pieces together. So you can see the way I arrange them. So you just stitch them straight, that's all, and then stitch the other side also. So after stitching, this is how it will look like. So you can see, so this is the two parts. So you can see I've stitched and joined everything together, and then join this other side also. So now we're going to be doing the front piece. So the front is a little bit, is almost the same thing. So that's the center front, and then this is one part of the side, one part of the cup. So you can see when you place both of them, you have a full cup, and then this is the side of the side. Yeah, so you join all of them together, just join them straight. It's a simple straight process. So after joining everything straight, this is how it will look like. Okay, so these ones are just normal straight sewing, so that is why it's a little bit fast. So the next thing, now we're going to be cutting our cup. This is like main highlights. Okay, so this I'm using my thick wording. I'm creating my own cup, so I'm making use of my own for a thick wording. So this is the cups also cut out on the fabric. So at this point I'm just trying to arrange everything properly, so you can see how it looks like. So I'm using this thing, they call it hip pad. So that's what I'm using, and thick wording. You can see both of them. I doubled them. That's the thick pad and the hip pad and the thick wording. So you can see what I am trying to do. So at this point I'm just trying to arrange them. So I'll pick one of the hip pad and then pick one of the thick wording. So you can see how thick that wording is. So that's for the cup B, that's for the cup 2, and then this one is the first cup, that's the number 1, like we label on our pattern. So I'll pick a thick wording. You know, wording has a part that's thick, so that's what I was trying to check. And then I'll pick the hip pad. So at this point I've picked them, so you can see I'll place both of them together like this. And then, so these ones you can see, so these ones are for the second cup. So I'll just shift them to the side, and then I am going to stitch it. So I'll stitch it from that point. So you can see, just stitch it round, just the way you stitch your cup round. So I'll stitch it round that way, and then I'll cut this open. So it's a simple process. So since I discovered these cups, I usually don't even use already made cups anymore. It makes the work easy. So this is the fabric on its own. So I'll join the fabric together. So after sewing the fabric, now we're going to place the fabric on the cups. So you can see, so if you notice, I cut out the fabric piece a little bit bigger than the cups. So why? Because I need allowance around it. So I'll pin each round on the cup. So that's, I'm placing the fabric, make sure that the dot lines align with the cup. So, and then you stitch it round, you can see. So once you place it properly, you can see I've finished fixing one of the cups. I'm going to show you guys how to fix the other cup. So after everything, you just trim out excess and leave like half of an inch. Okay, so after leaving that half of an inch, now I'm going to stitch this cup. Now I want to stitch it to that piece that we joined earlier. So what I am going to do now, I'll just place it at that center. So please guys, like this video. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you want to register for my class, you can see my number on the screen. Just send me a message on WhatsApp. Okay, so you can see, so at this point now I am trying to join it. So when joining a corset cup is a simple process, but you just have to do it gently, don't rush it. So you can see I'm stitching one side, that is, I'm just taking my time to make sure that I stitch one side first. Okay, I'll just stitch it this way. You can see how I'm trying to stitch it. Just stitch it down. After stitching it, I'm going to check it before I continue. So I checked it, I see it is okay. And then you can see this other part now. I'm still going to start stitching it from the center, from that center also. That's where I'll start from. So at this point, I'll just take it like this, and then I'm placing the fabric now on top of the cups. You know, the first one, I placed the cup on top of the fabric. That's for the right hand side. So for this left hand side, now I'm just trying to place it gently. I'll just be putting it, that's just be putting the edge of that round part of the cups. I'll just be putting it on top of the cup and be stitching it gently. Just be stitching it down until I am done stitching. So when I am done stitching, I'll check it, everything is okay. Make sure that the cups, everything, they align, they pop out nicely. So like I said, since I discovered this, I don't even bother myself to use a ready-made cup. I'll just use this cup. So after everything, I want to make this dress an inseam. So what I did, I'll take the back piece and then I'm going to join it. So you can see the line I mark. That's the stitching allowance of my, that's the measurement. And then that's the lining. So like the lining, you cut your lining exactly the way you cut your fabric and join it exactly the way we joined our fabric. So after, if you do it properly, when you place it, you are going to have it looking like this. And then for this, I'm just going to stitch just the top part. Okay, I'm not going to stitch the down, I'm not going to stitch the side because I want to add eyelets. So after that, I'll just keep that, and then let's work on our flare. So since it is an inbuilt flare corset, so at this point, what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to divide my waist measurement. Okay, so I'll divide my waist measurement. I want to cut out 3 flares, so I'll divide my measurement, my waist measurement, into 3. So when I divide it into 3, I had 8.6. So 8 point, I had 8.6, yeah. So 1/6. So I'm just going to approximate it to 9 inches. Why did I approximate it to 9 inches? Because I want to have allowance that I'll use to join. So that 9 inches, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to divide that 9 inches into 2, because you see the fabric is folded into 2. And then I'm going to place half of it. I'll place that half measurement on my pattern. So you can see now, this is my pattern. So I have 9 inches. That's, I'm cutting out 9 inches, 9 inches. So I'll fold my pattern paper this way. When I fold my pattern paper this way, I'll divide that 9 inches into 2. You understand? Because my pattern paper is folded into 2. So I'll divide that. So I have about 4.5. So I'll mark the 4.5 on that top part. And then from that part, I'll take the full length of my the flare that I want for the corset, for the inbuilt corset. So I'll take the full length like this, and then I'll just, so at this point, I'm just marking my full length. So like I said, I used 3 flare, you understand? So I did it in a simple way. Just divide your measurement into 3, and then you cut them out, cut out the 3 flare, and then I'm going to join them together. So after everything, so I'll trim out the down part and then trim that top part of my flare. So like I said, that 9, you divide that 9 into 2 because your pattern paper is folded into 2. So now I'm going to use this to cut out 3 pieces. So this is the first one that I'm cutting. I'll fold my pattern paper this way, my fabric this way, and then I will take my pattern paper now, and then I'll place this on my pattern paper. So I'll cut this out. This is the first one. So like I said, I'm cutting out 3. I divided my measurement. I keep emphasizing on this. I divided the waist measurement into 3 first, and then you now divide it into 2 again, because your fabric is folded into 2. That's when you divide it into 3. That 26 I divide into 3. I have 9 inches. That 9 inches I added extra to it. Okay, so after cutting, this is what I have. So I'll cut out 3 pieces. So after cutting out the 3 pieces, this is how it looks. So I will join all of them together. That was why I made my own 9 inches, because I need that extra to join all of the pieces together. So I'll join them together. So for this, if you cut this kind of flare, if the waist is too big, when you join it, you reduce it. Okay, so this is my flare. I've turned it with my lining. I actually did not turn the waist, I just stitched the lining on it. So now to create the inbuilt corset, so you are going to determine where the length, that's your tummy length, where do you want it to be. So mine was around 16. So this is 16 inches from my shoulder to 16 inches. If you don't have a dress form, you can use a mannequin. So this 16 now, I'm going to mark it round to the whole of the waist like this. That is, you see, I keep measuring it to create that inbuilt flare corset. So I'll measure it round like this. I'll just measure it round and mark it round. Mark that 16 round. Depends on your waist. You use your own preferred measurement. So you can see the blue line on my dress. So I had to really mark it so that it will show, because if you don't do it properly, one part will be high, one part will be low. So now at this point, I took the center of my flare. You can see what I did. I placed it and then flipped it. You can see I flipped it. It's a simple process to do this inbuilt. I took the middle, that's the middle, and then I am placing it. So I'm trying to check it, and then I'll place it. So I'll not get to the end of my dress piece. So I'll stop it just a little bit before the boning, before those dart lines for the back. So you can see that's where I'm going to stop it. You are not going to join it to this end where my left hand is. You see that place where my hand was? That's where you are going to stop it. So you can see at the end of the day, this is how the inside, just a little stitch, just one stitch, you stitch it, and when you flip it, this is how it looks. So at this point, the down, I've not hemmed the down part of the inbuilt corset. I've not hemmed it, so I'm just trying to check it to make sure that everything is okay. So this is how it looks like outside. It looks good and okay. So I just made straps. So this part I did not show it on this video, it's just straps. I just made strap and attached to the sleeve, just to create out the sleeve, just straps, big straps. That's what I basically did. And then this is another extra strap that I'm just going to stitch and join to the center, just to give it that fancy on the sleeve. So like I said, please, if you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. So you just sew it, turn it, just the normal strap, sew and turn, and then I'll just take it like this and just give it a top stitch on the center part of the sleeve. And if you have not liked this video, please like this video. So I'll just stitch it down like that, and then it will look like this. Okay, so you can cut out your own strap, how big, how small. So this is how the inside looks like. I placed it on the mannequin. So this is after hemming the down part of the inbuilt. So the essence of this is to help you make your waist smaller. For those of you that will say, I don't like flare because my stomach will be big, if you do this one, your stomach will not be big, because you will strap it in and your stomach will be flat. So this is how it looks like at the end of the day. Like I said, please like my video. This is the dress. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe to